Macmillan Audio presents Born of Defiance by Sherrilyn Kenyon. Read for you by Berman. Prologue. You can't win against vested mongrel dog. You might as well go home to your mom and cry like the little bitch you are. Talyn Batur barely caught the nasty retort that scalded his tongue, then wondered why he bothered, since both he and Dual Odelis were fighting to kill each other anyway. Yeah, okay. I'm an idiot. Just not a rude one. Dual punched and kicked like lightning. Moving as if he lacked bones and a spine, Talyn dodged and ducked, then delivered a staggering blow to Dual's ribs. Dual stumbled back. Talyn scissor-kicked, turned, and hammered his famous double punch into Dual's face and a headbutt to his forehead. Stunned, Dual reached for him. By the methodical, sluggish way his opponent reacted now, Talyn knew it was time to finish it. "Kiss my mongrel ass, vested," Talyn growled, then swept Dual's feet out from under him and pinned him to the bloody mat. Within a few heartbeats, the victory alarm rang and was quickly drowned out by the thunderous sounds of those cheering his win as well as those damning him to hell for it. The ref pulled Talyn up by his arm to present him to the crowd. "Undisputed! Undefeated! Unbelievable! The new Zoftic vested champion of 8560, the Iron Hammer, Talyn Batur!" Drunk on adrenaline and victory, Talyn struck his chest and glared defiantly at the arena that was packed with screaming fans as he fought down the raw bloodlust that was pounding through his entire being. A bloodlust that still wasn't nearly appeased. Over 60,000 Andarions were here tonight to watch him bleed, and that didn't even begin to count the tens of millions who were watching from home. Some betting that he'd win, more hoping his opponent would gut him in the goriest way imaginable. But as his breathing calmed and the pain of his match set in, one reality hit him even harder than the blows of his felled opponent. Out of all these tens of thousands who surrounded him, not a single one was here for him personally. While those who were rejoicing his victory would go home to celebrate tonight, he'd take a shower, change clothes, and return to his Spartan military barracks, alone. Tomorrow he'd get up and go to work, like any other day. The unconscious vested bastard at his feet was right. In all the universe, Talyn only had one person to tell about his win. His own mother. How pathetic and worthless was that reality? I really need a life. Since his mother was off on a summit meeting with the Andarion Tadara and under strict comm silence, he'd have to wait until tomorrow night to do even that much. And he knew she wasn't watching or listening to the event. She never did. It wasn't that she didn't care. She just didn't want to know about his fights until she was sure he was still alive and not lying dead on the ring floor. End of the day, Talyn Batur, the celebrated athlete of his entire generation, had no one. In this massive arena packed to capacity with Andarions and aliens who gave a single shit about him, except his manager and his trainer. It was something he'd lived with and accepted the whole of his life. But never had it burned more than it did right now, as he looked out at the thronging mass of Andarions who were here with friends and females. Two things, because of their stringent bloodline laws, he'd never known, and would never have. The ref finally released his arm as they dropped the barricaded cage walls and carried his opponent away on an air stretcher. They were both bleeding.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?